Pretty sure we have Mick Gordon to thank for this one. He did the first couple of seasons. Cell Dweller and somebody called Atlas Plug filled in for the last couple of seasons, and those were also outstanding in their own ways. But damn, Mick Gordon is a treasure, isn't he? Hello. YouTube comments claim that for Jago's theme, Mick Gordon actually like went to Tibet and like learned throat singing. Which sounds like something that somebody would make up for YouTube comments, but if it were true, that would be rad as hell. I'm not sure if he ever commented on it. God, that's good. Man, come to think of it, I still don't have any... Like, I have Steam and GOG installed on this rig. GOG Galaxy, that is. I have not gotten around to installing EGS or Origin at all. I have so little use for that. I guess I'll need to get Origin going on if I ever want to install The Sims 2 again, but... I hear getting that working on Windows 10 at all takes work. But I've got Sims 3 kicking around in Steam. I really need to get around to trying that out sometime in the next few days, maybe. Actually, speaking of which, Madness Project Nexus finally came out yesterday. And apparently it is reviewing extremely well. So I might just go ahead and pick that up. For anyone missing the context on that, Madness Combat is a series of Flash animations that go back to, like, early days of Newgrounds. We're talking, like, you know, the heyday of Flash. Somebody just put together a silly cartoon where there was a chicken dance song playing on the radio and a whole bunch of people started shooting each other and blowing each other up and shit. It's even more than, like, a Problem Sleuth level of it's hard to believe where it started and where it ended up. But that series has been going on for... ever. And their first big, real-ass video game release just came out on Steam. And I've been cautiously eyeing it, watching it with measured optimism, and apparently it is far exceeding my measured optimism, and everybody is really enjoying that. So that's good. Man, if nothing else, I mean, the soundtrack of all of the Madness films is... films, sure. Oh, we, 13 seconds ago, Hinama 2 ended, and we went on to Spinal's theme, which is also great. I mean, listen to this shit. God, Killer Instinct was so good. They really need to make another one. It kind of wasn't for me because, like, you actually had to really master the mechanics and get extremely good at, like, massive combos in order to inflict meaningful damage. But, Killer Instinct tournaments are a lot of fun to watch. Killer Instinct just had a very fun cast of characters, I feel. A lot of cool non-human fighters in that series. Robots and undead of all descriptions, and dinosaurs and elementals. But anyway, we should probably get around to playing this here Disco Elysium video game. What was I doing? I was up to a few things. Ah, yes. So I was in the basement here. Where's Kim? There he is. I need to get into this freezer because the off-site backup filament doodad is stored in there, and I need to get that and bring it over to the lady, so she will be more agreeable to cooperating with some local kids on opening a anodic dance music in the church. But the freezer is very much frozen shut, and my noodly little arms, even with my Kvalsoon Plus 2 tool, are not up to the task of getting the freezer open at this time. So I've unplugged the freezer and I'm going to give it some time to thaw. In the meantime, there's something else in here, in the doomed commercial area, that I need to inspect. Because I yelled into a chimney and then an evil spirit answered, and I'm going to go meet the evil spirit. This is gonna be a whole bunch more side questing today. I'm still waiting to get my gun. And I really need that to happen, which will happen later today, but I need to find some way to kill some time. This tray is full of dice. Colorful polyhedral dice, hundreds of them. The candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice. I like dice. I have some dice.
Hello, I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with emerald light shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius.
She taps on her headphones.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching. You must have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Hold on, what do you mean by milieus?
Yes, a milieu is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
You know, my Spanish 4 teacher never did make good on her promise to teach us some cuss words after we graduated high school. And that never did become a part of my Spanish vocabulary. I do remember that, okay, so like the Spanish word for gato, for cat is gato, and like you would think that, like the word for female cat would be gata. Kind of, but it has an entirely different connotation. Anyway, so why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
How much money do I have? Got 27.85 monies. Role-playing games. You know, the one made by Fortress Accident, does that count? I want some dice. I don't need dice, but I want some. Maybe? I'm not really sure why I'm here, honestly.
How strange. Well, if you're interested, my rate is 10 real per set. Unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
The walls around her are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals. I want some dice. I only have like 2 sets of dice that I got, even though all of my tabletop role-playing games are played online and I have no use for real dice. I still wanted some. I got some that are like deep red swirly kind of pattern with like yellow numbers on them. And then I have like a purple galaxy set that I really like. And they're just like a purple swirl but with like little sparkles in there, so they look like little galaxy bands. They're neat dice. Dice are cool. I see some cool dice online sometimes and I'm just like, I want the dice, but I don't need them. So compelling to collect. It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shelves like stalagmites. Conceptualization. I like conceptualization skill. That's a good one. I should lean heavily into art cop sometime. Like, if I start another run, I should do that. This person means you or no one else absolutely any harm. She will answer freely and honestly. No falsehoods are present. She is a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need. What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the whirling in rags? I'm actually going to get this out of the way and then come back around to the dice, which is backwards from how you'd expect.
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here. The lieutenant looks at his notebook and then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
You never took your eyes off your work to look out the window?
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure she really doesn't know anything. I might not press this any further. What do you mean by the daily ruckus?
Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard. During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's heard of the murder but did not see it, sire. She's not sorry to disappoint you. Informing on someone in a murder investigation would intrude upon her focused existence.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
I see. Thank you for your answers. She nods.
Anything else, officer?
I'm feeling pretty good right now. Like, I think I got a little bit energized by a conversation we were having before the stream. I think it woke me up a little bit. Maybe that's a strategy I should remember. How did you become you know what? I don't think I care about how she became a dice maker. No, you know what? It'll need some time. Sure, tell me about how you became a dice maker.
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Do you like role-playing games yourself?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Some of these nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items. She's thankful for the security they provide her. Ooh, I'd like to order a die from you.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
This is interesting. Looking for something to help with my work. Let's see what you can come up with.
I think I have just the right one for you.
She opens the top drawer of her work desk and takes something out. 2 polyhedrons, red and blue, are cradled in her palm. Police colors. Because I'm a police officer, right?
Not the most original, I know. But sometimes the obvious choice is obvious because it's best. Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
Oh, I got some free dice. Uh-oh. Damn. You overthink it. Your hands can't agree on what to do, and the 2 dice drop to the floor and scatter in opposite directions like pearls from a broken string. The blue one disappears down the pit in the center. No.
Down the drain, like your career.
Ouch.
I apologize, officer. That comment was unnecessary. That one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay. The other one was the inverse. They were a set, you see, but now the set is broken.
That makes me really sad.
It's a shame. They might have brought you luck. You definitely need luck in Martinez.
I want that blue die. Is she pitying you? Good God, she's pitying you.
Now, was there anything else?
That sucked. I want to order a die.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
Yeah, maybe recoverable? I'll have to check it out. I don't know. It really might not be. Tell me about your most extraordinary die.
A star that fell from the firmament? Those cost more than 7 real. Are you sure?
Star that fell from the firmament. I think I do want that. Yeah, I'm a star myself, a superstar. Superstars don't care about money.
Yes, you definitely have the proper attitude. How about a pair of 100-sided dice, made of ivory and inlaid with lodestone, a naturally occurring magnet? to complement your magnetic personality. 10 real, and I can get these ready in 8 hours.
Wait, hold on. Naturally occurring magnet. Do magnetic dice even roll properly?
It's true, magnetic dice are definitely different. When rolled together, the magnetic fields of the pips interact with each other to push and pull on each other as they're rolled, just like all magnetic personalities.
I'm not
do.
sure if I'm feeling these ones so much. Ivory? Nah, I think we can do better than ivory. I think we need to think about this.
Maybe you have some other ideas for dice?
Do you have any cursed dice?
What do you mean by cursed?
As cursed as my life.
Alright, how about I surprise you? Come back in 8 hours with 7 real, and I'll give you your cursed die.
Sure.
Great, see you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else?
No, that'll do. Where are we anyway? What is this place?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal black soot here and there.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There is an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse. Does it mean she's unlawfully occupying a part of the house? Shameful.
Creative.
I think Kim approves. I've heard this place is cursed. Do you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
Plaisance is the one who sent me. She's convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
Me too, cats. This is a cozy little spot. I do like this. Her whole setup here is really nice. Just kind of hangs around in here, finds her time, makes some dice. Makes a pretty good mint on them. It's not a bad lifestyle. Let's see. Let's go. That's actually the bookstore. Boofstorf isn't doing that well. There are hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going.
Alright, but it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in racks? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Yeah, the whirling doesn't really look like it's cursed.
And then there is me.
She sighs, looking at her messy work table. All kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving files to wire cutters.
I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
It's because she's in cahoots with the demons. Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse? I'll be the first to admit there are many inconsistencies in this so-called curse.
I was just about to ask, what do you think? Do you think the curse is real?
The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity. What's going on with you, Half-Light? Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest. Not you too, Inland Empire. Don't agree with the pink skill, whatever's. These things are weird. No, you know what? Authority is a purple one too. I guess never mind, you're all crazy. Every voice inside my head is crazy. Thomas says Half-Light cannot calm down. Alright, you know what? That's kind of true. That's kind of the whole thing about Half-Light. Honestly, I'm still not sure. Nah, you know what? Fuck it. Like, sometimes I try to lean into the paranormal shit a little bit more because it keeps things a little interesting, but what I truly believe, no, that's freaking ridiculous. Of course there's no curse. Starting to see that there is no curse, only business decisions and natural market fluctuations.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring.
Yeah, reality's a real drag.
But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful as far as we can see. Plaisance is not going to like what you have to tell her. Wow, that is a bad shivers check. You know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind. What about, like, I figured the first one that would come up is Fortress Accident, but I don't see anything about it. Found a strange machine.
Fortress Accident, the radio
There it
game
is.
studio.
She closes her eyes as some remnant of a memory lights up her face. She liked them.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral.
That's understandable. Fantasies are serious things. The mind is the drawing board of history.
They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
I kind of enjoy that I power level my conceptualization skill as high as the cap will let me, simply so I could paint a nice slogan on the wall of a building somewhere. And now I'm passing all of these conceptualization checks in all these conversations. It's kind of neat. What do you mean liberal? What happened?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
I said liberal. I'm demonetized on YouTube now for talking about politics. Yeah, as if that were true. What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
She looks at the hallway as if she can still hear them chit-chat behind her curtains on a cigarette break.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that. From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time.
She's right, showing up to work on time is important. Shut up, authority. That's too bad. I would have supported him. The project looked great.
Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
She tosses a pair of dice on the table. One of them stops near the edge of the metallic desk. Result is 1 on a 20-sided die. The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes like snowfall. I like that one. I want that.
Anything else?
Used to be a hair salon here, right?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
Yeah. Bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad. What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? The customer should have been more open-minded.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet.
What happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
Maybe that's what Kuno needs, a community-centric boxing club.
Kuno? Who's Kuno?
Indeed, who is Kuno? Your guess is as good as mine.
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
She looks out the window. It's oddly quiet there at the moment.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
Judging from the kids I've met so far, it didn't really work out, did it?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
I was waiting for electrochemistry to jump in, like, wait, I heard someone say amphetamines. It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right?
That does sound like an astonishingly bad idea.
Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff medias.
Yikes.
Who would have guessed? And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
Shame about those windows. I'm not even going to ask about that milieu.
Yeah, don't.
Someone here makes stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around.
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs. Anything else?
End of conversation. What's up with the taxidermy? Drugs. Next. Some creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
Insect rights activists? What in the name of...
Mm-hmm. The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
Alright, well, sure, why not side with the bugs? I'm glad that someone took care of the little guys. I like insects. I mean, I am streaming Hollow Knight tomorrow. I like bugs. Maybe.
Really? Anyway.
She looks at the windowsill where a dead fly is lying on its back, legs curled up in a bow tie. Anyway. Poor guy. Suddenly you get a feeling the insects are important to the case somehow. It's hard to say why. Bugs. What's with the rotor blades and skis?
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money.
Oof.
Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Kimotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
That's illegal, running off with the company's money like that. Why hasn't he been arrested?
Sure, it's illegal, but it's not exactly anything extraordinary in business. Besides, Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around.
It was just props. Why return to them? There was a terrifying taxidermy bear in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revershow ICT. You're in for a treat here.
He smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Indeed, what are their other ideas? Alright, what are the other ideas?
There was really just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
She leans back, disapproving. Sounds like she didn't really like those girls. Friet does the same thing. I'm gonna go with that. What did they expect? 20 cents an hour is dog's pay. I'm surprised they showed up to work at all.
Oh, but they did. They did show up to work, and not alone. There were also acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the ice cream stand. And they already had the bear.
What about the bear?
The bear.
Didn't work out?
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravishell Ice City lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Class A 5,000 soap caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
I killed the bear.
You did what?
I unplugged the fridge to help Revachol Light City cut their losses.
Ugh, of course they left it plugged in. Even in death, the bear is costing them money. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherian.
Sorry, the phrase high on desiccants caught me off guard. It's like, get all that hydration out of your body. Get all that out of there. Just dry yourself out until you see shit. Sounds cool. Scary, but cool. Why is everyone doing drugs in this place? Even the taxidermist. Megatherion?
Megatherian, a mega wild beast.
What's a mega wild beast?
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs.
Drugs! The horrific necktie tightens around your neck, strangely excited, but it doesn't feel particularly fun this time around. I do drugs. No. Not now, you beast.
What?
You ever feel like your vision beast is trying to blackmail the fun out of you?
No, officer. I don't have a vision beast. Normal people don't have vision beasts. Only drug-addled madmen like the taxidermist do.
What about horrific neckties? Do normal people have horrific neckties?
Neckties? I guess they do sometimes, officer. But I don't understand how it's relevant to our discussion. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
I'm learning terrifying things about the true identity of the necktie. She seems almost sad finishing the story. Some dust beams swirl in the afternoon air. Her eyes follow it idly. Little sparkling embers under the window.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
I really like this lady. Found the building's intercom, but it's not working.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then. So you're telling me the doorbell with the empty name card was yours?
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet.
I was wondering about the Whirling in Rags. Is it part of the same building complex?
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce Center project. That explains why you can call the whirling from the intercom, albeit I doubt that anyone responds.
If the Whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the doomed commercial area. The darkness of this place is there too. Well, Inland Empire, I think so. Did you know that East Delta Pinball was once the Whirling?
Yes, I guess so. The arcade is an ancient failure. Before my time. I'm not surprised, however.
You gave me this great coat.
My advice? Don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, fluorography, trick-track, especially pinball.
Everybody's shitting on pinball. I like pinball. Strange thing happened when I tried calling somebody named Slipstream SCA. Somebody answered.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years. Are you sure it was Slipstream SCA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore.
She said it was from Tricentennial Electrics.
Tricentennial Electrics?
There's a moment before she recognizes the name.
It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you?
No, it was something else. It was eerie. It was too real to be just a prank. Either we're dealing with a professional actress or... No, it was something else. Something eerie.
Pranks can be eerie.
She looks as if she's still convinced there's nothing to be worried about.
Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity.
I apparently have a few more questions about the building.
Sure, I'm listening.
I think that's everything. Actually, I had no other questions.
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
You feel nothing. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm in here. Let's just leave it at that. Let's not start disrobing. As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. Where's it coming from? From a distant sunset? A stage light? Flash photography? Nowhere in particular? It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights, and they solve shit. Actually, now that I hear superstar and law official in a sentence, they sound weird together. What are you, deaf? They're perfect. Like rock star politician and drug addict teacher. Embrace the superstardom you've worked so hard to establish. How many capo types can I pick up at once? The sorriest superstar cup. Sorriest superstar doomsday cup. I think I should probably cut this off. I think you got the wrong impression. I'm no superstar, I'm trash. Yeah, a cool trash superstar. Big dick cop, down on his luck. Salam Rocky Bye. Badass on the edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Lights, camera. Wait, what about a ludicrous fantasy world? Yeah, you know, beneath is just heartbreak, a pulmonary tract infection, a atherosclerotic disease. This is where you say action and reconceptualize all that. Reinvented as the world's first celebrity police officer. This is the beginning of your legend. Fuck it, action. They convinced me. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution. A black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on. Alright. None of that made any sense.
Date of birth generator. You were born in the year 07. In the last year of the commune of Revachol, right before it fell, in the old military hospital on the ground floor, where people usually came to die during a snowstorm. The revolution had about 1 year left to go, and the fires were still burning bright. There were explosions in the blizzard. This was 44 years ago. You are 44 years old. The bloating might never leave your face, but beneath it, you still have some years. You still have some hope.
Ah. That's interesting. First, let's make this absolutely clear. No one is saying you're an actual superstar in the groupies and cocaine riddled with Hep C strikes a lion-esque pose with a mic kind of way. This freaking game. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna internalize that one. There's so much to this game. There's so many avenues to explore. This 20-sided die is made of bloodstone and inlaid with lapis lazuli. Colors resembling police sirens. Its blue partner is missing. Kinda looks like the fire department arriving on the scene. Got fucked. Shit fingers. Note, look at the map tab in your journal to see which white checks have opened. That's interesting. I didn't consider that I might actually. Wow, all kinds of shit. This die could be an immensely useful tool. The hanged man isn't even there anymore. We sent him off to the soup morgue. Wow. Trust in the dice. I don't even remember this sleeping dock worker. Oh yeah, he's inside the whirling and Rex. That was just if I wanted to try to break that window, which I failed. Visual calculus on the stained glass window. I'm a little interested in that one. Yeah, that blue dye is gone. It's so sad. Poor little blue dye. least I still have the wet one. What was she thinking, counting on me to catch something? Do I look like a catcher? Here we go. Gotta get it this time. Should definitely have thawed by now, right? It's been almost 12 minutes. This isn't gonna work. Physical instrument. I must have something. I'm already wearing my smelly tank top. Alright, that might be the best I can do. I'm really surprised I don't have more fallen gear that grants physical instrument. A scented scarf reduces it by 2. Damn. It's the best I can do. Theoretically, it probably won't kill me to attempt it once, right? Maybe if I fail it, Kim will do it. Well, what do you know? Good roll. Ice groans and howls underneath the strain of your giant Kvalsoon multi-tool until the lid cracks open. Darkness lies inside, but you can faintly make out an object intricate and foreign left there for a sub-zero beauty sleep. A filament memory with the words off-site copy written on its side. You gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage it.
We should take it back to Miss Lukanen Kilda as soon as possible. I'm not sure how well unused filaments tolerate room temperatures.
Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament? There is a radio computer upstairs. Well, curious, sure, but we better not mess with this thing. Its cube-like crisscross of filaments feels oddly fragile in your hand, its intricate structure still cold to the touch. Silver tape on the side reads, off-site copy, note, this filament contains information that can be read using a radio computer. Nah. You know what sort of cop I am? Caution cop. That's me, Zeor, play it safe pants. Suppose we should stop by Plaisance on the way by. But anyway, we can now get back inside there. Whatever. There's that bug again. Sometimes some things just show up as invisible. Shrug. Don't need my flashlight. Smelly Twitter ledger. What about my tear back? Maybe some more tear checks will show up. Opsuna, that's what I'm doing. Insulinian Phasmid, Right. Oh, okay, check in with Lena as well. I was thinking I had to fill the other traps, I guess just the one. And we can also go check out some other locations where theoretically the gunshot could have come from. Look for Ruby. Confront the pigs and get my gun back. That'll be at 10. Eight hours. They'll probably have to get the dice tomorrow. Don't know how late she stays up. I swear I can feel this place right now. I guess it's because the actual weather's getting cooler. It's only 56 out right now. Oh, thank cow for that. Like, my favorite time of year is when the the summer fades and autumn sets in. Even if that time period seems to get shorter every year. Like, I don't know, standing in this particular spot right now, I flash back to, like, Christmas in Allentown that one time a few years ago. In a good way. Not everything about that was good, but I felt nostalgic for a second.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
The dark sarcophagus.
Yes. How was it?
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know that's what she wants to hear. It was a charnel house of failed business enterprises leeching life energy from this bookstore.
I knew it. Oh, such horrors that have been thrust upon us. But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
Talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Nia, and she's a novelty dice maker.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
No, ma'am, I have felt her aura. She is not the one to blame for this curse.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
Even though I've decided there's, no curse because that's not a thing and that's ridiculous, I still feel the need to mess with Plaisance because she's the worst. Before you say anything, ask yourself, is the woman really able to withstand the truth? The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perhaps you ought to just lie, sire? You've come this far. You know how to end it. There is an entity behind the entity. I like that one. Let's go with Inland Empire on this one. I mean, it is my signature skill. There is another entity, more malignant, pulling the strings in Martinez. Perhaps in my travels, I will cross paths with it.
A third order presence, yes.
A great dark relief watches over her.
I've heard of these triactors. In certain occult literature, that's too dark to dwell on for too long, and definitely not in public.
She gestures for you to be silent.
I understand everything, sir. Thank you for your descending into the maelstrom. I will keep fort up here, strengthen the wards, do my best. And if you happen upon the third entity in your travels, may the Lord be with you.
She performs an X-shaped cross on her chest.
Well, this has been absolutely educational. If we happen on the third presence in our travels, we will certainly come back to tell you.
Yes, the venture continues, in other waters, darker waters.
Should we get out of here before the vortex collapses?
Farewell for now, book peddler. Do you feel that? Yes. Of course you do. You don't even know what it is you're feeling, but you can feel it. The mark of a true remote viewer. The time has come to connect to RVDHQ. By establishing connection, you will have proved yourself a worthy remote viewer.
Everything all right, detective?
Trying to connect with the remote viewers division.
This again? Come on, detective. The joke has gone on long enough.
Ignore the lieutenant. He's never connected with anything paranatural. You're on different planes, metaphysically speaking. It takes time to block out the sounds of the world, but once you do, it's like you're on a wavelength. Not like any natural wavelength, no. Seems to be something on the other end, if you could only listen closely enough.
Oh, for God's sake. This is a bunch of...
Do you copy? This is RVDHQ. Anyone there? RVDHQ, this is Firewalker reporting for duty. Can it be? We haven't heard that name in ages. Welcome to the RVD, Firewalker. Bzzz. You are a special man. Definitely not imagining it. I have 2 skill points. I can internalize something if I want. I kind of want to do this one. I mean, here again, Inland Empire is like my main skill. Like, let's do it. I'm really being inconsistent on whether I think any, like, paranatural shit. I forget how I started that sentence, so I don't know how to finish it. Whatever. Let's just do it. It's a terrible idea. This is stupid. This is the worst. Alright then. Let's start going back westways. No, wait. Visit Lena first. This freaking game. Like, I'm so glad that even though I'm streaming this, like, to some people who have never seen the whole game before, I'm still leaving plenty of it open to be discovered. Like, again, I mean, I've been over it all before. Like, eventually you kind of know how the main story goes, but even so, there's always so much to dig into in this game. And there's definitely some differences in how things can shake out along the way. You can trust me on that.
It's good to see a familiar face.
More on that later. I restocked the empty trap. Where's Morel?
Thank you for doing that, dear.
She manages to smile for you. Smile is weary. Her earlier ebullience has left her.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him.
Only the hardcore players left, huh?
Yes. Field work is a young person's game, as they say.
Her voice is shaky. What's going on here? So, who's going to check the traps?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe caked in mud. He doesn't say anything. Once more under the breach, then.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? Like she's given up. Lena, what's wrong? You seem different.
Different? How?
You're not telling me the whole story.
I'm not. It's not that.
What is it?
It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer.
And when a police officer asks, you must answer. Shut up, authority. Go jam your thumb off your ass.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream? Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not.
Morel told me you'd seen it. You also told me.
Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
Terrible sting in her heart. Regret. You seem to really believe it happened. Doesn't that count for something?
No, sweetie. There's more to it than that. Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence, that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That, and for years his belief made me believe too.
Then I'm a queen, an extraordinary witness to grace.
But now, we're both getting old and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was.
The lieutenant opens his notebook but doesn't write anything. Acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care. And I need something good here. All the qualities these two seem to share in abundance. Wrong or not, your relationship with Morel isn't just about the phasmid.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the phasmid, hunting it together. Without it, what are we? Just another pathetic old couple. If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university.
Normally when I think about stuff like women and marriage, I feel bad, but when I think about you and Morel, I feel okay. That counts for something, no?
Oh, of course it counts for something. But we've had our hard times too. I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived. On our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists, if I didn't tell him that story...
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking. He'd still be into you. That's not how these things work.
Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must stop talking about it lest I start crying and waste more of your time. What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life.
Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad. Know this. I still believe you saw the phasmid.
A true believer. Sometimes I still see it too. The real memory of it. How it was there. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart.
Rising, unfolding from the reeds on a hot summer's day like a benevolent god.
Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary.
Are you sure you don't need help getting to Gary's?
Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
You can do that. I'll check the traps one more time.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel.
Can I have your address just in case there's news?
Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road. Jamrock, but...
A sigh. She doesn't think you'll need it. It's been a pleasure, man.
Likewise, sweetie. Thank you for everything. Truly. Even though it turned out to be a...
Waste of time. A dream? Like that, she drives off, wow, loudly. The gas engine putters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, the cold coastal wind blows.
We should go too.
Hi, Lena. Somewhere out there, a kilometer to the southeast, a gust of wind shakes the Feld building, rattling dusty windows, beckoning with strange coldness to ask the wind once more. Are there any other checks here? I don't think so. No. Time to take for a walk up the coast. Yeah, it's kind of dawning on me for a second. Like, really? You have, like an internal combustion engine wheelchair? Powered by gas? That is kind of metal. Yeah, last time we found out that the victim's boots were apparently registered to an Ellis Courtaner, or however you pronounce it. Courtaner something. Oh yeah, I have something for these guys. He's cranky old... Well, the one cranky old bastard and then the one jolly old bastard.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you?
Found you guys a new bool.
What is this? Are you mocking us? This isn't for pétanque.
Now, no need to get angry again, René. I'm sure the officer tried his best. It's not like there's a bull kiosk here in Martinez.
Alright, I'm gonna be sorry, cop, on this. I'm very sorry. It's the best I could find.
The best, huh? This isn't even a bull. But fine. I guess you did attempt to right your hooliganism. Consider it forgiven.
Is there anything you can tell me about this rifle?
It's a Bell McGrave. 4.46 caliber. Breech loading. Revachol made. Good weapon. Accurate and reliable.
And I know it just... that... Like, the actual temperature in this room right now is gelling so well with this environment. I'm feeling really immersed right now. I love it.
This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her?
In the basement over there.
I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime weapons lying around here. Back in the day, everyone had something stashed away. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM-446s are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is impossible to find.
Do Maybells mean anything to you, Renee?
I prefer the old name, Insulindian Lily. Girls bought them to young cadets when they entered service. Wearing them on your cap was supposed to bring good luck.
Did they bring you good luck?
You know what? No. They brought me misery, false hope, and disappointment. The revolutionaries sullied them.
Stirred up some bad memories there.
But it wasn't the revolutionaries that sullied the ID for you, was it? She gave them to me too, and your jealous little heart just couldn't accept it.
Enough! I can go over these matters in detail with you, Gaston, but not while we have company. So, officers.
Maybells don't blossom yet, do they?
Maybe on some remote parts of the city they do. But I think you have to wait for at least a month.
Thanks for your time. I can only talk with Renee for so long at a time. Again, he is an interesting character, but in an unpleasant way. What skills do I need? Couple of interfacing checks, but nothing important. Well, practically everything I've tried is open again. Yeah, not a ton that are actually important. What's at the wash basin? A lot more shivers. Shivers is good to have. I still think it's interesting that Shivers is like a physique skill, even though it itself is not quite kind of borders on the like paraphysical. It is kind of like an extra sense kind of skill. Oh, right, the wash basin was shaving. I was thinking of the old lady's, like, clothing wash tub thing. Kim's gonna yell at me. It's like, leave the damn phasmid trap alone. There's no damn phasmid. You damn dammer. Trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy. A few lie on their backs with their legs twitching. Still no phasmid. Poor things. Yeah, I won't lie. That would make me a little sad. The locusts, I mean, just to die in a trap like that, I mean, even if they are bugs. What an undignified exit. What else is around here? Our task list has actually gotten a little bit short. That's right, I think I was going to talk to Joyce, but she's apparently around here somewhere. Allez-vous and basically means get out, says Tech Pain. Good to know. Actually did not know that at all. Sync signs with annoyed, maybe I should do that. Seem to be getting along surprisingly well with these kids. Maybe that'll be easier after I've finished this sooner thing, though. I apparently know the phrase allez-vous just well enough to know how to pronounce it. Otherwise, I would probably have struggled with the French silent consonants as I always do. French rules of pronunciation are completely arcane to me. Right. You know, I know I can run, I know I can fast travel. I still like to walk places in this game. It's kind of an important bit of downtime. It kind of helps you really soak in the atmosphere of this place. This very, very well-crafted atmosphere. Like, TechBand has been providing so many, like, loose impromptu translations of French things and helping with their pronunciations and such in this game. And like me, I know enough Spanish to know when the one guy said, necesitas parar, I knew that means you gotta stop. Like, yeah, I know stuff too. Look at me go. I can definitely do better at visual calculus. Yeah. I do love my sea monster shades. Oh yeah, my jacket. RCM Commander's jacket, that's right. It's me, big uniform wearer. Lieutenant W. Freighter. Says my French is really pretty crappy these days, but the framework is still somewhere in the old belfry. Yeah, same. I mean, any language, be it, you know, a spoken language, a programming language, or whatever, that's how language works, you know, if you don't exercise it, it gets rusty. I've barely used my, my Spanish skills since I graduated high school, but I still retain just enough of it that I can usually follow the gist of written Spanish. I have like 3 different plain white button-up shirts. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shadowed, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and text, a leitmotif beneath them both. What shattered this mosaic? Unknown. Something during the raid the lieutenant mentioned, or just hooligans looking for something to break? Who is this older woman? The escutcheon on her throne says Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden Reichsapfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at their feet. Yeah, that's definitely German. I can tell by the Reich. I can at least read that much. On my second pass, at least. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, Theriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all of its dizzying detail. Apparently, Reichsapfel is German for orb. There's no way to say anything nicely in German. The motto, what does it say? Below both women in luminous black letter. Après la vie, mort après la mort, la mort, la vie de nouveau. So after, I can actually follow this. After life, death. After death, a new life.
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
Why?
It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto.
That makes sense.
We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
What is the RCM motto now?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
Jesus. Cool.
Ice cool.
Yeah, gonna take a quick BRB here. Gotta visit the restroom. I really enjoyed Disco Elysium. Be right back. I am home. Even as the game is paused, you get that desolate, distant wind blowing sound. So there's where it said that that's pronounced Revachol. See if we can find the one that has me pronouncing the other one differently than everybody else does. I'm thinking of Martin S. I really felt like somewhere or another the game said that it was pronounced as such, but everybody else keeps saying Martin S like it's written. Shrug.
Yes, what is it?
About that off-site copy you asked me to bring.
Yes?
Brought you the filament.
Thanks. Looks like it's the one.
So what's gonna happen now?
Now I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it.
She's already inserted the filament into the radio computer's core, ready to close the door. Wait, no, that's dangerous. You shouldn't do it. Why? Nah, let her do it. What are you even hoping to find? Like, sorry, Inland Empire, like, yeah, sure, like, psychic, like, metaphysical cop is fine and all, but really, science comes first in my mind. Do it.
I have a theory. Lintel was able to divine the location of the anomaly from this broken copy. I want to repeat their calculation, only this time with better equipment.
Huh.
Watch. What an intricate display of failure.
Paper starts filling out with ink, soaking it in a gleaming blackness, okay? Not a single line of data stands out. It's the abyss staring back at you. Now what? Tuna doesn't reply, her hands running over the printout. She's looking for something, for her morning star, eyes scouring the millimeters.
Here. I found it.
Where?
Hold on.
She's behind the keyboard now, typing in some numbers that only she understands. The terminal beeps and the light inside starts pulsing like a glowing heart. Can I do anything?
Shh. Just give me a second. I'm almost...
I've never witnessed a programmer work before.
done. I've got it. I found the location of the anomaly.
There's joy in her voice as she bumps her fist into the air. You did it? You found the coordinates?
I found the coordinates.
She's beaming. You can feel it in your heart. My God, congratulations.
Thank you.
So where is it? Where is your 2mm hole in the world?
There. In the swallow.
Point to the other end of the church where a group of water bowls forms a ritualistic arch.
Think you can help me again?
Sure.
I need you to go move those water bowls for me. I need to double-check my calculations.
Sure enough, that 2mm hole in the world is the source of this quiet zone.
Just walk over to the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third bowl 2 centimeters to the left, and the fourth bowl 5 centimeters to the right. This should do the trick.
Help me remember that. Third bowl 2 centimeters. So 3, 2, 4, spungle. 5, okay.
Thanks.
3, 2, okay. I'll let you work in peace now. Wait, how are these numbered? It's awfully silent again, as if someone turned off the entire world outside those walls. Water inside the bowls stands still. Measurements have been marked down around the bowls, each chalk-drawn line representing a centimeter on the floor. Okay, good. I don't have to remember. It moves like a ghost without creating a single trace of sound. Some water spills out of the bowl, wetting the floor. Lead programmer sends you an encouraging thumbs up from across the hall. This is really interesting. I've never done all this before. I don't think I ever chased this quest to a satisfying conclusion.
Yes, what is it?
I moved the water bowls to the right position, just like you asked. What's next?
Great. Everything should be aligned now.
This know-it-all is hesitating. What's with that passive aggression there, Empathy? You alright? What's wrong?
Yeah. Nothing. Now the only thing left to do is to unmute the headphones. If we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes.
Wait, why did you have your headphones on mute in the first place?
Honestly, I'm a little scared.
Isn't it just going to be silence and nothing else?
I don't know. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. It could be anything. I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist?
What sound does void make? What sound does a hole in existence make?
What if silence is only what surrounds it, but the swallow itself is...
She grows silent, her face very pale in the cold light of electricity. We should be cautious. We don't know what we're dealing with here.
Maybe I'm just tired.
It's scary, but I think we just have to face it.
Yeah, you're right. Let's do it.
She puts on her oversized headphones, ready to press unmute on the keyboard. The lieutenant takes a step back. Even he is wary of this. And then nothing. Nothing happens as soon as Lucanen killed. Presses unmute on her keyboard. Nothing but silence. You can hear some small animal across the floor on the chancel. It's that quiet in the sanctuary. She doesn't talk, her eyes closed and brows knitted together in a state of deep focus, one hand cupping the headphone. Well?
Damn it.
She lets out a loud sigh before tearing off her headphones. She's still avoiding your gaze. At least the world still seems to be alright.
Yeah. Nothing happened. Let's move on.
Despite her fear, she was hoping for something extraordinary to take place. So what do you mean nothing happened? Did you find the swallow?
No.
Rests her face on her hands, massaging the forehead.
No. My hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard something, if I got the coordinates right. Like I said, silence is only what surrounds it. But this this is just another failure. Silence sounds like silence. That's all it is.
Basically, I think she was just hoping for any kind of change. She made a lot of changes on this end and didn't get any feedback from what she was trying to study.
You can try on the headphones. See if you can hear anything. But don't get your hopes up.
Silence is silence? You're sure there's more to it? This can't be it. You should have a listen. I have a positive modifier on this check thanks to my cryptid researching. Alright, I need... what was that? Perception? I've got my froggy visor on. I think I have a pair of boots that helps perception. Oh, nope, nope. That's a penalty. I have a lot of penalties to perception. There we go. If I make myself a little tiny bit higher up, maybe I'll be able to hear it better. Wait, do I have a... I don't think I have... No, I have a +2 to perception. Thanks to my thought cabinet.
Yes, what is it?
Everything disappears. You are draped in silence like a drowning man staring into his puny little headspace. And then the pressure changes. What does it mean? It feels like flying on an aerostatic, or when your ears pop, like when a subtle difference in atmosphere or weather change hanging in the air. What if the sound you're looking for is too low for you to hear it? Suna, what if we just need a better sound system?
A better sound system? Alright, but where would we get one?
Suddenly a rhythmic beat permeates the walls, causing a small pitch of decorative stucco to crumble onto the wooden floor.
They should really allocate some renovation funds to this place.
No. What they really should do is shut down the disco men for disturbing neighborhood peace.
This is all coming together more perfectly than I could have imagined. Yes, but they could help with the speakers.
You mean the speed freaks?
She closes her eyes as more dance music invades the holy silence of the sanctuary.
Of course. The speed freaks. They have a fantastic sound system. And you think they would help me?
They would, if you wouldn't mind them moving in with you.
I guess I could live through a week or two of peaceful coexistence.
Brilliant negotiating there, Detective, as always. Great, I'll go talk to them then.
Sure. Let me know how it goes. Thanks, officer.
Have you seen anyone suspicious, say a woman named Ruby?
What? No. No one's suspicious around here.
She has not seen her, sire, 'tis true. Okay. Usually you can believe drama when it does a lie check for you. That's pretty much what drama is for. While I'm in there, I can talk to Noid. Not seeing any more terror around. Hardcore! Fucking egghead. That conversation was great. Alright, we definitely aligned signs with Egghead. What about you, Noid?
Huh? I see you're here again. Off-sign, man. Did I mention getting us into the church would help?
Ah, right. Okay, we'll do that after. I'll come back later.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Here to talk about the church again.
Yes? What's the deal?
Good news, I managed to convince Suna she's okay with you guys moving in, but on one condition. She needs your speakers for her project.
We are grateful, Copman. You're a true ally and the augury of a new era of Anodic dance music.
Speed Freak smiles happier than he's ever been before. You're gonna have to share space for a couple of weeks until she gets her research finished.
That's
fine. We can manage. And you're still sure about keeping our little side business, right?
Oh, you mean the illegal drug lab? There will be no shady shenanigans in the church. Only love and Nordic dance music.
Fine. We can make do. It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours, maybe. Come check back later. Let's get moving.
Alright then. Check in on him later, I guess. I guess I could just pronounce that anodic dance music as in, you know, anode, not anodic as in... I'm just used to... I found Joyce. Like when a word starts with and something, I'm used to thinking of it as like, you know, without, as in... If I check back later, it means instantly. Poof. Like Poochie going back to his home planet, you can just see like the whole cell just slide across the camera. Love the snow. Like as far as seasons go, winter does tend to drag on too long. It's kind of... The cold and the darkness aren't really great for mental health and all that, but still, I do love a nice, like, light, feathery snow. It really is beautiful. Anyway. I guess my favorite month is coming up. Like, oh, it's gonna... It's, what? It's gonna be October in a few hours, actually.
You got us in, cop. I can't believe you got us in.
Yep, I've never seen this before. This is cool. He looks around the hall, examining the carpentry. With wonder in his sharp eyes.
Between you and me, I don't know if you've noticed this about me. I'm a little suspicious of authority. But you really came through for the hardcore.
Oh yeah, that's what's-her-face over there. I'm glad she's inside too. She's cold out there.
Yes, you really came through for the hardcore underground. How come?
Andre is busy cutting some slightly less lame but still quite ungainly shapes on the church floor, sweating profusely. Estelle, that's her. Estelle is using her contact mic to listen to a tree underwater. The one with the large head is blasting the dance track on repeat while the stained glass window behind him is rattling from the bass. This is all a corrupt scheme, Kim. Better in here than in that tent. It wasn't safe.
Okay.
What he means is, you're right, actually. The tent was a safety hazard and this place was deserted anyway. So, Noid, what do you think about the church?
It's a miracle of carpentry. Dead bodies carved into total shapes. Now it can be something more.
How old do you think this church is? Over 300 years?
That's right. The first settlers built it, plus 6 more like it, on the coast here. Was one of the first things they did. Must have been really scared of something, but I understand. Alone on an uninhabited archipelago, forced to face themselves and nature. Pre-industrial quantities of solitude. You see, perhaps something more fundamental.
You mean something paranatural? He must...
I would want to build a safe place for myself and my own as well.
What do you mean by dead bodies?
Dead bodies are perennial plants.
Ah, wood.
Sigma functions have left this place. It's a good thing we came along. The spiritual collapse has been total.
Spiritual collapse.
I saw some piglets suckling their dead mother. Have you heard this one, cop man? After a short while, they shuddered and went away. They had sensed that she could no longer see them, and that she wasn't like them anymore. What they loved in their mother weren't her body, but whatever it was that made her body live. End of quote. This is an high-quality carcass. The power of anodic beats and hard bass is needed to reanimate it.
Where's that quote from?
A Sarais man who lived a long time ago, an ancient hardcore brother.
What you're saying is religion has stopped being hardcore.
It never was. A 3,000-year-old regime of history, built by hundreds of generations of self-appointed intellectuals. It's false to the core.
Noid is making way too much sense to me. The way he says it, the false core is invested with 20 kilotons of disgust. That's a very precise measure of rhetoric, thank you. You propose dance music will supplant this system.
Anodic dance music. Regular dance music wasn't hard enough. And yes, I do.
How do you like the glasswork?
I don't. Fuck her giving me the evil eye.
That's her innocence to lowest day. Mind you, now hold on, we're trying to sync signs with Noid here. Let's not get too mad at him. You wanted to get inside the church and now you don't like the stained glass window.
I didn't know it was in here. We have to get rid of it. Dismantle it.
I don't like
Can't
that.
dance with a giant mass murderer looking at ya. Not a good look for the club.
Mellow, man, mellow. No one's a mass murderer. This is a house of love.
Thank you, Andre.
Mass murder on the floor.
Thanks, maybe, Egghead. Would you say she was, you know, human?
I like this question, Cop Man. She did not live the life of a human. She lived like someone who's playing a game. The life of an operator. That's not the life that humans live. She was adored. Humans aren't. I don't know about you, but they hate me. And they do not think I'm innocent or some shit like that.
Yeah, they hate this too.
Well, they loved her. They put all their love in her and forgot all about the rest of us.
The young man lets go of the suspenders and they hit his chest with a snap. Yeah, I'm done talking about her. I don't want to think about her anymore. Strange choice of words. Caustic, overflowing with negativity. This can't be healthy. What's happening here? Why do you keep coming back to this window? It's a nice window. Why do you keep saying that if it isn't making you feel well? Don't come back to this anymore. Stop talking about that damn window. How are you settling in?
Hard to say, Cop Man. Signs in here are distinctly wild. Gonna take a while before everything's properly synced. I did get to talk to the crab man, though.
Oh, you mean Tiago?
Anyway, he's been giving me kind of a psychic rundown of this place. Dude's seen some crazy shit, but he's actually a lot like us.
You know, all this mother's love stuff isn't too spooky for you?
Have you been listening to what Egg's been saying? Love is hardcore, man. And the mother's love is the hardest core of all. The man picks up on stuff. And he knows a lot about the church. I got a lot to learn from him.
Starting to lose track of this conversation. I feel like it's going all over the place.
Good thing you didn't squash him.
What did Tiago tell you about the church?
The crabman's been lurking here for a while. He's experienced things. Things that give off bad signs. As far as we can tell, the Ubies built this place about 320 years ago as a sarcophagus.
I mean, there are dead bodies here?
Not like a literal sarcophagus. I'm just being metaphorical.
What's it for?
Encasement, confinement, of something they were afraid of. Something new and unheard of on the Isla. I think that's what the crabman is experiencing when he climbs around upstairs. Like, this is some old world shit the Ubies had heard about. I thought the best way to deal with it was to build a church, surrounding it, to contain it.
Sounds like a job for the remote viewers division.
I doubt it. I don't even think the Ubies properly understood it. What it does. But it's what this Sona person is looking for and trying to measure. It'll be fruitless though. She won't be able to measure it. People like that always want to measure everything. All those things they really can't.
The wood creaks as a gale blows by outside. Dust particles fall through the darkness, settling down the age-bleached floorboards. The structure does not feel particularly durable. This building seems less than structurally sound.
No, it's pretty fucking unsound if you ask me. They should have built a club for anodic music around it instead. Anodic music will definitely contain whatever we're dealing with. And if it can't, well...
So what makes you think soon is going to fail?
Seems to be the trend around here, doesn't it? You can't measure shit like this. It's not like... substance.
I found a doomed commercial area in Martinez proper. Maybe it's the same thing the Ubies were trying to contain?
Like a concentric ring spreading out. The struggling villages. And that is what caused the communards to fail in defending the beachhead. Yeah, a lot of failure has gone down around here.
You think there's any merit to the theory?
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It's not even a thing we can answer, Cop Man. Even I have limits. I'm a limited psi person.
Well, if it's without substance, I guess there's nothing to worry about.
Maybe you can figure things out, Cop Man. I think we got on a good level here. The signs are syncing up well.
Guess we're making progress. I don't even know why I'm worrying about this. Why are you so suspicious about everything?
Suspicious people are esoteric people. We don't go around spilling everything to Johnny Law. They don't call me Noid for nothing. It took us setting out for this whole enterprise to get our signs synced.
Why are you called Noid anyway?
It's short for paranoid.
Uh-huh. What are you suspicious of?
It'd be easier to list stuff I'm not suspicious of. I'm not suspicious of sound and colour. Mechanics and chemistry also have a trueness about them. Most anything else deceives. Wants to steal your life away.
You're again, I'm having a troublingly easy time understanding Noid. This is a good, dangerous line of questioning. You should prod him on. What are the most suspicious things?
I don't have a top 10 list of things I'm most suspicious of, but if I had one, the left-right complex would be number 1. Number 2 would be their sole accomplishment, the pig-wheat paradigm.
Tell me more about this left-right business.
I prefer not to. Both ask the wrong questions. Any spark of light from either one is accidental. Their combined movement's only concern is producing enough pig and wheat for everyone. The end goal of humanity. The original mistake was assuming that words have more being than bodies. That's what led us astray. Far from our true lives, but we may yet find a way back.
He's losing me a little bit. Whatever this true life is, you feel is sort of the real centerpiece of this mythology. What's suspicious about the production of pork and wheat?
It's only our shit. We should make better use of not being animals or cereal grain ourselves.
What's bad about the animals? Animals are cute.
Nothing. Animals are cool, guys. I like animals too, but that doesn't mean I have to be one myself.
Well, that was certainly stimulating. I want to ask you about something else now. You mentioned true life. What would that be like?
The life is true if it's free from fear, an internal division among oneself. In others, mankind has seeds of greatness in it. A germinal will come, a return to trueness. It will be hardcore.
Man, I don't know how any human could live without internal division. I mean... How would you go about returning to this true life?
Beats and bright lights to shatter falsehoods. Nerve impulses for the collective body. We are very much alike in basic structure. An hard enough beat would awaken everyone to a truer calling. In unity.
Just like that, the speed freak is right in your face, his eyes burning, his comrades look on worriedly. This young man is dead serious about this. So you're advocating a noise-based society.
Many non-Occidental cultures share a beat at their art. Thus, they are closer to true, hardcore life. There's just never been enough of them. and they had to rely on some extremely basic percussion.
Like, it's interesting because, I mean, music really does connect to, like, humans on a very primal, like, primeval level, you know what I mean? It's programmed into us at a base level. It's part of our OS. You keep mentioning hardcore. What does it mean to you?
Utmost dedication. Thoughts from the spinal cord. It's a potent superlative as well. Egghead usually has a better concept of the hardcore. He just really likes saying hardcore. Hardcore!
Yes! His friend shots from behind his mix table with a smile surpassing your own and wideness to a total moon face and eyes full of naive wonderment. That was vague. Dedication, something else superlative.
Maybe you're being too specific about it. Try consulting with your spinal cord.
Let's change the subject.
Oh yeah, sure thing.
My ledger's giving me a bonus to that. Alright, I'm gonna dress for conceptualization. I didn't put my cool sea monster glasses back on. Alright, here we go. Conceptualization shirt. Conceptualization jacket. You gotta dress like a complete tosspot for maximum... that word. Conceptualization. There we go. I'm dressed like such a schmuck I can't even remember the word conceptualization across two sentences. Why did I go with tosspot there? Why did that word bubble up in my consciousness all of a sudden? Also, I'm gonna put my empathy shoes back on. There we go. Who needs perception? I'm nice cop.
Yo, man, what's on your mind?
Dedicated, hyperactive, unified. You will have to add something of your own to understand this list of loosely formed qualities called hardcore. You need your own entry. Make it. Long live the world that gave shape to hardcore to complete itself. A true heir to DeLorean values. 3.5 centuries and the gift still keeps on giving. Endless are the wonders born out of the cultural collaboration so wisely facilitated by the free world. Ye gods. Alright, I guess to completely sync up with Annoyed, I would have to internalize that. You know what? I'm pretty sure I still have... I'm going all in on this. -2 penalty to interfacing. Fuck grammar. I'm gonna go for it. I've come too far with this to not go all in. We're going hardcore. Anyway.
Yes, what is it?
How's the project going? I see that your neighbors have moved in, but all I hear is anodic dance music.
What? What did you say?
You can barely hear over the thumping bass of anodic dance music. I said, how is the project going?
I can't hear you! The music is too loud!
The project, how is it going?
Oh, the project! It's not going well!
Why?
There's that guy! I need him to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixer into the speakers.
Why don't you just ask him?
He doesn't listen to me! He only ever seems to care about hardcore and Yekokata! A place to be, apparently!
I'll speak to him, see what I can do.
Thanks! Maybe you can get through his magic rhymes!
Oh yeah. I'm old hat at this now. I can talk to Egghead. Leave it to me. Another quick save. Like, I probably don't need to quick save that generously for Disco Elysium, but it's fine.
Church, the place to be! Make some noise, my church people!
Large speakers are set up behind the young man, not pictured, blasting a familiar song. He stands on a stage behind a table, nodding along to the music and waving his hand in the air. In front of the audio mixer, one reel spinning. The other reel is on empty. Cables run hither and thither. On the other side, you can see an auxiliary line with the number 4.5 written next to it. Nice. Yeah, you're right. Where did the other speaker come from? They could only fit one at the tip. You know what, in your lungs where the pressure should vibrate, in your heart that's alone, and in your solar plexus where the hits should land, so does every chordate animal needs more bass.
What?
Young man makes a sudden move like he's about to turn the volume down, but that would be ridiculous. And a melody. A good melody is what makes the song really stick so you can't get it out of your head anymore.
Wow, okay. We should start with the melody. But where would we get that stuff from?
I mean, I do have a lot of commentaries. I don't know. I was thinking you would know.
I'm sorry. I don't know anything about Nordic music. I'm just the party boy. I get the people going and say it's hardcore.
He feels ashamed that he can't be of more service to the future of dance music. Okay, I'll look into it in an official capacity. It's up to the police to make sure the beats go harder. The young man falls silent with appreciation. He even tries to contain his smile as if it would hinder your investigation.
Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it, so that Egghead could use it to remix Fan Eight's jam.
Yeah, maybe that street hawker across the pawn shop has got some tapes to sell. That's just an idea.
This quest just keeps going. There's so much to this. There's a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint Ghislain right next to the canal. A reel of magnetic tape is caught in its branches like bronze ribbons blowing in the wind. Feels cold.
Does it?
Rue de Saint Ghislain, I've been there.
Oh, I know! I know this! I can tell you where it is!
St. G is the boulevard before the canal bridge. The one that takes you to the whirling in rags and the industrial harbour. It's got the lanterns and the...
I knew that! I could have said that!
And the mosaic sidewalk.
But it's all blocked with that stupid traffic jam right now. Anyway.
Anyway, that's all yours to figure out, Copman.
Copman!
I think the only tape I have with me is the smallest church. Which I'm not sure... I mean, I need that for karaoke either way. I don't know. I wouldn't... They presumably will want to keep the tape. I need to look for another one. Hey, can you please route Suna's signal through your speakers?
To the Mega! Yeah! I can route it through auxiliary! What kind of a cable does she use? 3.5 or 4.5?
It's 3.5, no doubt about it. It's on the ground.
Oh, she uses 3.5. Yeah. The auxiliary lining is 4.5 millimeter. These two don't mix.
Oh no, we're going to be in this church forever.
Don't worry, I have an adapter for it right here.
Nice.
Hang on, this is a 4.5. We're all good, people.
Okay, good. We're the greatest sticks to plug into the auxiliary line in. You were a satisfying click.
Great! Someone got through to him. Okay, let's get it all set up. Can we turn the music off, please?
Egg, the music?
Everybody! Everybody! Don't panic! I'm going to turn off the on-off for just a sec. For a special scheduled event.
Man, you know what? Egghead would legitimately be good at this, like, as the hype guy. I could see him having exactly the right energy for that.
The on-off will be back, but we're doing something else for one moment. All right, go tell her that Egghead is ready to rave to her tunes, and then I'll turn off the music.
To her tunes! All right, bye, Egghead. Wait, hang on. How do you like it in the church?
Yeah! Back on the case! No disgrace! Bring it down to party place! The first page of the second chapter!
Could it be? Maybe for him, you only have a chapter or two left in you. Last of the penultimate, more like. Alright, bye, Egghead. That was... I mean, I'm only 44, man.
Yes, what is it?
Alright, I talked to Egghead. You plugged in the cable. You can now unmute your speakers. Again, not pictured.
Okay, but think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit? Just in case.
Maximum! Maximum is the only way!
I know it is, but could you please turn it down just this instance? Just this one time? Maximum is not the only way, okay?
Pump it to the brick! Pump it to the hard master! There's no other way! Glue style!
See? He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless.
Why do you want him to turn down the volume?
Because I'm afraid that something might happen. It's an unknown phenomenon. We can always turn it back up if there's a need.
Can't turn down the hardcore!
I think what Egghead is trying to say here is that the volume button is actually stuck on maximum.
Of course it is.
Yeah! Permanent enlightenment! Ray of sound!
Never mind then. Let's get on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speakers on a count of 5. Everyone ready?
The only number is 11. Egghead pumps his hand in the air, waiting for the beat to drop.
Born ready. Ready.
I'm ready if you two are detectives.
The lieutenant nods stoically because Kim Kitsuragi rules. Suddenly her palms are sweaty. Mom's spaghetti. Church seems cold and large somehow. There's tightness in your chest, anxiety. Okay, ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mute disengaged.
She lifts her hand from the keyboard. Complete silence fills the room. No wind outside, no waves, no floorboards creaking. Total, continuous silence. This is unnatural. The woman looks around, and in the silence you see dust move on the floorboards. The driver of the speaker vibrates in the air and then stops. Plasterwork begins to crumble down the walls. In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine. It's a song inside you, not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly it builds until the air around you starts to vibrate. It will devour everything. The floorboards, the glass, the streets, and the people. Nothing will remain.
Guys, what's going on?
There is alarm in the man's voice as he steps back to scan the surroundings. A slight rattle like crystal clattering in the cupboard fills the air, joining the chorus.
It's getting louder.
In the basins, the water looks like it's boiling.
Hosiana! Mother of Mega!
You hear Egghead yell and then something else, but his voice is growing faint. In his mind, a tidal wave approaching from afar, swallowing entire coastlines on its way. Salvation. I've never heard anything this hardcore in my life.
The beauty and the beat! The future of dance! Planetary!
No, Egg! It's the window!
The glass shards around Dolores Day's vacant heart appear to be vibrating from the sound. It almost looks as if she's alive. In the corner of your eye, the lieutenant steps aside cautiously, his eyes searching for a possible evacuation route.
The window is going to come down! No, the roof!
She looks up, a screech fills the air, a scream of wood and nails. The pillars of the church twist and creak above and around you. Holy shit! Cracks appear in the stained glass window. Cracks run up the wooden pillars in the dark.
Come down to earth! Love!
Shaking the building's foundation, the floor twists.
That's it. I'm muting it.
Everybody don't... Alright, I've quick saved pretty recently. Everybody don't panic, it's beautiful.
Beautiful car! Beautiful life!
Shit! It doesn't stop. A seal? Have you?
Yes, I've turned it off. Andre, pull the compressor. The place is gonna come down.
Fuck! I can't shut it up. The signal's passed. It's not in here. It's...
In the mixing desk now, building into a positive feedback loop. This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass shatters somewhere near the door. It's coming down. I think we need to stop this. Egghead's in the desk. And then it stops. Totally and utterly as if there never was a sound. Only your ears still ring from the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a dangling cable in his hand, a black 3-pin connector.
Egg.
I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore.
You did good, Egg. Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking hell. Programmer lady, tell me you were recording that.
4 years. 22 people. Millions of reals. All that time? This is what we were up against. Just erased it. Suliswolf isn't gonna believe this.
Yeah, but did you record it though? It was dope. I think we can use it.
Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, I need to send some letters now. Thank you all for doing this. Eggman, you too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. That's the start.
Kim, did you hear that?
It was very hard not to. I think you're right. There is something going on here. And you need to be very careful with it.
I promise, officer. We will not play it again.
What was that? I've never heard anything like that.
It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's what it was technically. Theoretically, I have no idea. I've never even heard of anything like this.
Your voice seems muffled in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after the exposure. So you're going to write Sulis, however you pronounce that?
Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too. And some of the writers. If they're sober enough to open a transmission. They need to hear.
That it wasn't her fault. Or theirs.
They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording. Although I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency anyway.
So what happens now? Are you going to...
Stay here. I'm going to stay here with these lunatics. Send letters, maybe meet Suliswolf. Also devise further measurements.
I want you to know that's totally chill with us.
I don't care, but thank you anyway. Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this. Or the letter will sound like I've lost my mind.
Yes, and we have to get back to stabilizing Martinez. Instead of demolishing it with loud bass noise of unknown origins.
That was all really awesome. I have a +2 to this due to Apocalypse Cop. You have an explanation for all this. Somewhere deep in you, you know. The person you were knows. Logic. Must wear logic. Excuse me while I change my clothes again. This is cop work. Time to wear my logic hat. Maybe I will quick save. I'm trying not to, you know... Oh my god. I'm trying not to... If we have to know, says TechPain. Okay, you know what? Fair. Like, I don't want to lean too heavily on save state scumming, but you're right. We are too deep in this now. Oh shit, I have an even better logic hat. Oh yeah. Look, god damn, I'm logical. I am hardcore logical right now. I have a +5. I think that's everything.
Yes, what is it?
I was waiting for the snake eyes. We're good. You don't have to. You already have a long time ago. Wait, how? These thoughts formed in you somewhere in a long-forgotten discussion behind a kitchen table in the evening light. Drinking coffee and smoking with a friend. Suna is the origin point of the Pale.
What?
The swallow, it's how it starts. It's baby Pale.
But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
That comforts her? No. We are 20 meters from the very edge. She looks up into the darkness under the nave, then back at you. The Pale is only an effect, a transition between the world and that.
Then, what is that?
It's nothing. No, it's less than nothing. No, it's less than nothing. The final rest state for reality. Imagine if all of this never was.
Then the Pale is...
Simply a gradient.
But the gradient, it clearly hasn't started yet. We're here, and the Pale is not.
One day, when it's larger, it will be.
I understand. a theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes, like a cancer or a mold, erupting in points inside the world.
This is one of those places.
According to this, how long?
So the Pale, yeah, it's like... Wow. Until it starts swallowing, it's already started, starting with sound.
And information, causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you
Just
considered
what
why
pure
it's
wild
growing in
entropy.
the church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects in addition to sound and data.
Presumably it's doing it very slowly if they've had time to build this church around it 300 years ago and it hasn't seemingly grown much. An intellectual hunger fills her now, casting fear aside.
I also have a question, since we are piling them on. How do you know this? I'm not doubting you. I'm simply curious as to how a detective of the RCM
knows how to think this. It didn't form in a church. The church formed around it.
Of course! A pine wood sarcophagus, or a containment facility of some kind, built by the first settlers.
Yes, acting on an instinctual level, or religious practices we've forgotten.
I have considered the same. The bad news is, there were 7 pinewood churches built in the first decade of provincial settlement. Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but...
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air. All the failed businesses in the doomed commercial area, all the failure in Martinez.
You think the presence of that puncture has somehow influenced the outcome of events here? Even say software development?
She already made up her mind when she heard it. Some kind of great and uncaring force had to play a part. It wasn't only them. Even the revolution was defeated here. I mean, a kind of entroponetic history.
I told the producers we need to go and move to a normal office building with amenities. But no, the artists like the milieu, the writers like the history. I told them.
It's better they don't know.
I told them. But no, normal office buildings are bourgeois.
I think I've had this thought before, that's how I know.
An amateur anthropomedic police officer. I'd like to say I've heard stranger things, but I'm not sure. This is a hell of a guess, however. Well worded, I might add.
Yes, it is very interesting. But I wouldn't say you know. This is a guess. One that's going to have to be proved by anthroponetic scientists.
I'm gonna bring Kim over to the weird side yet. He's budging inch by inch. One day all the world will be like that 2mm hole. She falls silent. The wind blows in through the hole in the stained glass window, cold and moist.
I'm going to leave that out. But the rest? Some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but...
Ma'am, you will certainly sound mad.
One more thing. Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space.
Perhaps not.
Yeah! Once the light is on in the universe, it will never go out!
Thank you, Egghead. Let's leave it at that, shall we? We have an anthroponetic detection to perform in this district.
Right. I'll let you work in peace now. Ken's saying something about a red check that comes up after. It's cleaning out the rooms. I think I'm actually at the absolute maximum of thoughts. I don't have any more slots to unlock. I would have to throw something out. I agree, this is all really interesting shit. Well, here again, I mean, how much have I been over that, like, yeah, sooner or later you know who done it, but, like... Still, there is so much left in this game to discover. Like, do not take my playthrough as all there is to see in Disco Elysium. Gonna put my comfort clothes back on, my cool pinball coat, my goofy frog visor. Or my sea monster shades. Yeah, here we go. This is all so hardcore. Oh, I see, once I make it maximum hardcore. I think I need a different tape for that. Or again, I have a tape that I'm not particularly willing to part with. You know what? I haven't done like a real save in a little bit. She's whistling a melody, her trusty contact mic attached to the wooden pulpit. At the sound of your footsteps, she stops what she was doing and turns to you.
Hey there. I've been recording some new audio from all these beams and rafters. The sounds travelling through the wood are pretty cool. Creaks and stuff. Like you're underwater, you know? But like, underwater inside a tree. But that's not really what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to thank you instead.
What for?
For getting me and my friends in here. And we even found some new associates, such as they are.
How's everyone doing?
Good, I think. Noid is getting a read on the place. I think he finds the carpentry very impressive. Andre's been setting up the compressor and dancing. Egghead's been keeping the party up. He's got the stage under control. Sorna, the programmer, she's doing whatever she does. Behind that radio computer of hers. She doesn't talk to us much. And the Crabman hasn't shown himself, thank God.
Now can you tell me about your associates?
Sure. You helped us out. I can repay the favor. What do you want to know?
Tell me about Suna.
Oh, she's a bit odd, I have to say. Doesn't talk much. I'm not really sure how to vibe with her, you know? Seems like she's not in a very good mood most of the time. But earlier today she told me about Welkins. And she seemed oddly happy, like she had some idea with those little creatures. Some artistic idea. I didn't really listen, I was busy with my mic.
Suna seems like dispassionate, like she doesn't really care about any such thing, but she was a part of Fortress X, and it's interesting that she's carrying some part of that with her. That is still an interest of hers. What do you think of the Crabman?
Oh, the Crabman. Still gives me the creeps the way he moves. But he doesn't actually come down that much, just climbs around the rafters. I just tried to stay away from the Crabman. But he talks to Noid. They seem to have some thing going on.
Oh, he talks to Noid? What for?
Beats me. Noid said they get along somehow. They're both crazy enough, I guess.
What does he do up there?
Who knows? He doesn't really answer our questions, see? Not that it's easy to ask them. What are we supposed to do, yell up at the tower?
Thanks. About the others?
Who do you want to know about?
Tell me about Andre.
Andre? He's a cool guy. Doesn't really come off as one, but he is. To me, at least. He takes care of shit. Sorry. I mean, he's got a vision. For what life should be, you know? He tries to push things until everything falls into place. He's an organizer.
What has he organized?
Nothing. But then again, there's nothing to organize around here either. He really wants this church thing to work. Must have taken it as a sign when he found it abandoned like that. Said it was an augury. I don't know where he got that from. Andre's not super intelligent. I've never seen him so psyched about anything though. And he's often psyched. Looks sort of desperate, like it's his last chance or something. Or maybe he was just high. I mean, not that he does drugs, just high, you know?
On life?
Yes. Anyway.
Could it be that he's balding, him thinking it's his last chance?
Come to think of it, yes.
This is the first time you've heard her laugh.
He's in some kind of a self-destruction mode with that hair of his. Bleaching it like that. Probably wants to get rid of it altogether.
Tell me about the others.
Who do you want to know about?
Tell me about Noid.
He's a four-burger, I guess, like the rest of us. Okay, maybe not Egg, I don't know about him, but Noid and the rest are from Forberg. making the pilgrimage up north to visit the Elysium. He's real hardcore about the lifestyle.
What does he do?
What do you mean, do? Like for a living?
Yeah.
He's a carpenter, trained and all. He's very good, he just
really?
doesn't have the mindset to work like that. In a shop somewhere.
That figures. It's because Noid is violently hardcore. I have internalized it. I understand why he doesn't stoop to servitude, do you?
Wow, you really have talked to him. Indeed, Noid serves no master but the beat.
And you?
Sir, I abide by the law.
A strange feeling. Every now and then something feels off about the way she speaks. She doesn't change tone, but you feel as if there's more about her than she lets on. What is this pilgrimage you're talking about?
It's just something poor Fallberg kids do every spring. To pass the time, we walk the entire length of Boogie Street, up to Jamrock. Or as much as possible.
No, why wouldn't it be?
I don't know, man. Have you been down Boogie Street? It's a little bewildering.
I'm sorry, have I not told you I'm a raging alcoholic who recently drank himself into an oblivion so deep he can't even remember what sounds like the biggest street in the city?
Kind of. I'm gonna say yes.
Well, I am.
Okay. Then you should go and take a look, I guess. Boogie Street is cool. It's got a lot of immigrants and all kinds of different people.
Might just do that if I make it there alive.
Yeah. I hope you do. Who do you want to know about?
What's the deal with Egghead?
What do you mean?
What does he think he's doing when he yells all that stuff?
Oh, that. He's the party boy.
So what's a party boy?
A Nordic music doesn't really do vocals in the traditional sense. Vocals are thought of as rock. That's to say they're a bit backward. No offense if you like rock music though. Rock music's cool by me.
Your sheer credentials as the resident future man of Revachol are being questioned. Show you're hip with the times, Gramps. Let's not do that. No offense taken. Carry on.
Anyway, even if you don't have vocals, you still need someone to say something every now and then, right? To urge things on. That's where the party boy comes in. He basically just stands on the stage and dances and yells how awesome everything is. It's very catchy.
Kind of is.
I understand. People are usually afraid to do things if others aren't already doing them. Dancing makes you dance, like sneezing makes you sneeze, or yawning makes you... anyway.
So where's he from? How long has he been with you guys?
Actually, we don't know where he's from, or who he is, really. One time we were out partying somewhere in backwater Fallberg. Or maybe even Coal City. I can't remember. Maybe it was Coal City. Egg was yelling along to some jam someone was spinning. All night long. Just kept yelling until he didn't have a shred of voice left. When the sun came up over the mines. There were mines? Yeah. It was in Coal City.
Thanks for the follow.
Egg came with us. He made this wheezing puppy dog sound all the way back. Couldn't even speak. It was definitely Coal City, because it took us 2 days to walk back to the fort. He just wheezed the whole way. We never really asked why he came with us, or who he was. I think his name is Jermaine. People are sweet.
You can see it must have been a great night. The memory causes us to go silent for a moment or two. We wish you'd been there.
Who do you want to know about?
Actually, tell me about yourself.
Me? Again?
Yeah, I forgot. Tell me about yourself.
I told you, I'm a silver bird.
There's that phrase again. It really reminds you of something. What does that mean?
It means I don't answer questions about myself.
There's more to you than you let on. What am I not seeing?
All right.
She picks up the tape recorder and looks you in the eye.
There is.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
I like Estelle. Thank you. Some other questions?
Sure.
Whew. I like that. Like to read into her as actually a reaction speed check. Catch the silver bird. Estelle is cool. I'm pretty sure that 3% means as low as it can possibly be. As in, like, that's your chance of getting the boxcars. Have you seen a red-haired woman around?
No.
Just no?
It's pretty desolate here. I only hear the dogs bark at night and see the shadows move down the coast.
That's good. No neighbors to complain about noise when you get the club going.
Exactly. It's our chance to turn the grim desolation into an overwhelmingly fun dance party.
That's it for now. Whew. Sure is a lot going on in today's episode. Man, what a game. Who writes all this? You know what I mean? Who conceives of all this?
Yeah, it's all set up, man. Can you already imagine 1,000 people in here? 10,000!
He waves his hands in an unbelievably lame, non-hardcore manner.
Ecstatic vibrations, totally transcendent. And I've finished setting up the new compressor too.
He looks at the imposing black box in the corner that's churning out the sound.
Now the only thing left to do is the name of the club. Will you do the honors, detective?
Interesting. Kim, what would you name the club?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't build a club, and I wouldn't name it either.
Ooh.
An underground place with no name? Sounds like something the Crabman would say.
We're not going with anything the Crabman would say.
Why not? The Crabman has ideas, Estelle. Ideas from another level of consciousness.
I don't care. I don't like the Crabman, and I don't like his ideas. His ideas are spooky. Next, please.
So, what would you suggest as the name?
How about something simple? Like the club?
Ooh.
Too modern.
Yeah.
And too ironic.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want ironic. We want real. Real and true and beautiful. Like a morning after the rain.
Kaz just says spooky crab ideas. Noid, give me your 2 cents on the issue.
The amnesia.
Like the... I can't remember the name of the club, Amnesia.
Amnesia! It's not amnesia, guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm feeling that one. Egghead, you must have a lot of ideas.
Yakukata! Yakukata! The place to be!
Yeko Qatar, the zone of ecological catastrophe. That's too morbid, Egg. Got anything else?
Hardcore! Hardcore doesn't matter!
A witless, victorious smile adorns his face.
No, it has to be bigger than hardcore. Yes, it has to be even bigger than hardcore to the mega. It has to be bigger than the scene.
Andre looks worried as he comes to this realization. Suna, do you have an opinion on this?
I don't.
Good. We have too many opinions anyway.
What do you propose as the name, Andre?
The name. Everything I managed to come up with sounds just wrong.
Andre's overthinking it.
Yes, you should do it, detective. It would be good for the signs.
Noid's right. You've helped us so much. It's the right thing to do.
I think I've come up with a name.
You have? Well, what's the name?
I mean, it's kind of perfect. Kent says I chose disco. I'm leaning heavily towards it. I kind of do like No Truce with the Furies. It's a little long for the name of a club, but it is a nice phrase. Any other opinions in chat? Not feeling Revachol West at all. I mean, that sounds like a train station. TechPain also says, I like disco. Alright, it was kind of my first pick as well. We'll do it.
Like that DeLorean word for the world, you mean? Elysium.
Disco Elysium.
But Disco Elysium? Isn't it wacky? Disco's kind of gone, isn't it? Forgotten.
The past is the future, but the future is dead.
No, it's beautiful. Beautiful and brave. Like we want it to be.
And short. And memorable.
It's settled then. Everyone welcome to Disco Elysium.
Title drop. A light beam washes over the dance floor, bathing it in violet blue. Andre breaks into frenzied dance-like motion to celebrate the name. Someone turns out the beat. Should go with the flow, join in on the experience. Alright, this must be this red check that Can's warned me about. We got an autosave before we started this conversation, so we should be good. Feels good, feels right, but what is this? What is this thing that Andre is doing with his limbs? What are you doing, Andre?
I'm dancing.
He performs yet another strange pattern of moves, but it doesn't look very cool or modern. Honestly, it looks kinda lame. This softcore gyrating is supposed to be dancing? We should talk about it. We should talk about your so-called dancing.
Yes, my man.
He jumps up and down with glee, his moves punctuated by the stroboscopic flash of the club lights. Talk, what is there to talk about? If you express yourself to... Oh god, these are yellow checks. That's what? Composure?
Goodbye, officer.
Alright. Cans insists that I save scum this, so... Let's just do it. Basically, I'm just gonna go ahead and dress for all the yellow checks I can. Maybe not perception. Reaction speed might be important. Let me put on my hobo hat. I don't think I'll need interfacing. Savoir-faire, definitely. Gonna be all motorics. Probably. Ken says, I think it's Hesperian authority. Really? Not what I expect. So, do I not need to worry about the white check? Does that matter too much? Like, do I get the red check either way, or... Put my froggy visor back on. I'm feeling the shades, though. This feels like the right time for the oversized superstar sunglasses. The cross composure. Yeah, these are +1 composure. It penalizes savoir-faire, though. Red is part of the white check success, so I do need to pass that. Alright, well, I think we're just gonna have to roll that a lot of times because I have balls in that skill.
Oh, hey, man.
Composure, yeah.
Goodbye, officer.
So, yeah, we don't need savoir-faire, we do need composure. There we go. Good call. I forgot what the relevant check was. I don't think I have anything else for composure. I have a +2. Should raise my success rate to like maybe 5%. Alright, one more quick save. Got my green shoes on. Yeah, that didn't even help. Puts a grin on your face even a failed attempt gets the juices flowing and repairs some of the damage done by the battles lost. If you up the dose and truly dance, who knows what will happen. Salvation. Maybe I'll wait on this for now, and I will try to level up and put another point into composure and try it later. Because it looks like I might get a bonus for trying it more than once. Been meaning to ask you, what's with the hair?
It's to express my individuality.
Is that a bald spot? It's hard to tell for sure with the fused together spikes, but it looks like he's balding. Is it important for you to be an individual?
Of course it is. Otherwise, I'd just be another poor guy with no education and no money. General issue, man. Now I'm all that, and I have radical spikes.
Fair enough.
Maybe it was a bad idea. Anyway...
That's it for now.
Goodbye, officer.
Definitely want good authority before going into dance check. Okay. I mean, believe it or not, it's still a good skill of mine, even though I have a lot of things that penalize it. Carrying my stinky toilet ledger around and stuff like that. I'm gonna put my cool sea monster shades back on. There we go. So, alright, next point I get goes into... Damn it, what was it? Composure. I'm not sure if I'm even getting my gun back by the end of this stream. I think we're done here. Was there anything else I had to say? Talk to the Noid about? I think I need to find a tape before I can go any further.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, I'll work on it later. Right, I internalized a thought by talking to him. I probably had to talk to him after that. Okay. Jeez, I did not know there was this incredible array of content hidden behind the dance club tent, nerds. Unreal. I mean, how many times have we been over that, like, every character in this game has a huge something you can dig into if you have the right, like, points. I didn't realize I was gonna rip open a hole in the universe by talking to these dance nerds. Jeez. Anyway, we can do a little actual investigating while we're around. Here again, like, something about this... I can feel this place, this snowy evening. It's cold, but it's beautiful. I love that sometimes you can, like, see brushstrokes, but that it also still looks so realistic, too. You know what one of my favorite strokes of art was, and kind of a literal stroke in this case? Like the cover of one of the Calvin and Hobbes treasuries was a, you know, full colored, well, obviously colored illustration by Bill Watterson of just Calvin and Hobbes riding a toboggan across the snow, I believe. And, like, he added a shadow to just a tree, just like a bare birch tree, with just one big, long, blue, wavy watercolor brushstroke. And what a triumph of conceptualization that was. Like, I never got any good at watercolors whenever I had to use them in, like, a school project or whatever. Like, that, like, I never really gelled with him. I never really got it, I guess. But, like, he somehow, with that one stroke of watercolor, made, like, a photorealistic shadow of a tree on snow. I don't know why that stuck in my mind so much. Like, I was always memorized by that one thing. Anyway, is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freitor. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags.
There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, blue from the distance and the air, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. A glowing light on the third floor of the whirling in rags. With binoculars, you would see a young woman's shape move behind the glass, her limbs long and slender. Maybe the campfire was used by the perpetrator?
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out Biddable Prime, was it?
Maybe the assailant climbed the comms tower, took the shot there?
It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
It does look extremely rickety, and it wouldn't help much either. What about the cigarette butts?
Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joran? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Still, you felt it was important enough to make a mental note. That means something. You didn't pay any attention to any of the other cigarette butts on the coast. So Double Prime is out. It is almost impossible that anybody took a shot from here. Yeah, that makes sense. There's like no tactical advantage here. This is all just crud. Still 4 in-game hours to go before I can get my gun. I am pretty sure I'll have to wait for, Well, hold on. When did I do that? Pick up dice. 8 hours from 14 o'clock. So that's actually right around the time we're going to be getting my gun. Is it even possible to jimmy that open? Is there some check that does that? Yeah, interfacing. Hold on.
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
Hmm. The snow stopped. That's a shame. There's always something about that first snow of the year, too, where it's just, you know, again, like a light kind of powdery, just sort of breezy snow on the wind. It's just... A lot of things in this world have lost their magic to me. That somehow is not one of them. Getting all sentimental about this time of year. There's people around here we can talk to, too. We passed by these people a couple of times simply because I was busy with 45 other things that were not the investigation, but... Hold on, what's this? There's a slit in the concrete here. A sewer? You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage is peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Looks like tomorrow never came.
Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall. The coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical, how ironic. All these dark rooms. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first. What is this building?
Maybe we could, you know, ask the man who's pointing at the building.
Great idea. Could Ruby be in here?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there, or in that boat shack, in that church tower, maybe.
I single out this one building. Wow! Apparently I've done all of these checks already. I'm not going to do that right now. For reasons.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing out the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
How did you know Kim Kitsuragi by name?
Nice to meet you.
Hold on, hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
You're just making up fancy words. This doesn't mean anything. Hold on, what was that about the windows before?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder, and the child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in 08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
This man is your half-brother, you feel it, but why? Looking for a suspect. Have you seen anyone suspicious around?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with this one, officer. It's just a regular day off for me and Mikhail here.
So you haven't seen anyone around?
No, I'm sorry. As I said, this is just a day off. We just arrived anyway.
There is something friendly and familiar in how he says that. A day off. He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone. So what's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Cybernetics? Hold on, what's R&D? What? Wow, encyclopedia? You don't know the phrase research and development? It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill. Wait, what's an R&D department?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore. You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development.
Mea culpa, you were not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead. I don't think I've ever heard of this Felt Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was that ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
Tape computer?
Mm-hmm. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer. Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
Haas, I think I need to ask you to stop, man. Like, this is... I mean, you're really artificially inflating my follower count here. I mean... Most people probably wouldn't think of that as a bad thing, but that's like the 12th time you followed me. I don't think I feel good about that. Like, I appreciate you trying to help, but... Feels a little artificial to me, is all I'm saying. I got really distracted. You saying Feld Electrical built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Pleasure, well, like a Ferris wheel? Well, that would make sense if Ferris wheel was presumably named after a person who does not exist. Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear you would prefer if there were a big wheel lighting up the coast.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. they had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
Wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution? Tape computers, right.
Tape computers.
What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02. It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans ce Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of his book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion. How did those tape computers work? Did they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware. 10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Womty Dumpty Dum Center in Bredevoort, Oranje.
The what center?
We raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Womty Dumpty Dom Center? He did it! He said Womty Dumpty Dom Center like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Womty Dumpty Dom Center? Who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced? Okay, the Womty Dumpty Dom Center, Paul Ockerman, Keith, and Guy Juice. What are you talking about?
The Womty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
Kim, you're making this up. Kim, is he making this up?
In fact, I'm not. The Womty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Bredevoort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Bizarre. Made of black film and folding tape structures. Cool.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The felt playback experiment vanished into the fires of 07.
Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
Takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind. This dude sure does love to talk.
But of course, what else?
Great. Thank you for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Pick your brain? If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
Hardcore aesthetic.
Oh, that was quick.
Oh yes, drugs. We're talking about drugs. Let's face it, these flirtations with the hardcore aesthetic have all been leading up to one question. Can I do drugs harder now that I'm a hard cop? And the answer is yes. You can. You can do one more blast of Pyrrolidon and yellow shit powder. You can even pull a ciggy and a lager on top of that. There, you've truly made the hardcore your own thing now.
Well, that's disappointing. I mean, a good bonus, but kinda not really where I thought that was going. I don't think I'm gonna internalize the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. I can't believe that, I mean, okay, hold on. I'm not lamenting because we've gotten so much done on today's stream. So much just wild shit. But we still don't have my gun. And also, I know I have an extremely good, chance to pass that very story-important check that I do not yet want to come around to. For reasons. That is hilarious. Like, I knew it was designed as such. Like, it's a Shivers check that you need to be able to pass sooner or later. Like, I think it's the actual only way to advance. So yeah, it would make sense that there's a ridiculous number of modifiers to that check. Still, to actually see that many is funny. Here I was putting points into Shivers like a schmuck. I could probably pass it with like 1 Shivers score. I bet. Hold on. Let's talk to Noid first.
Yo, man. What's on your mind?
Maybe not.
The life is true if it's brief beats and bright. Many non-Occidental. Oh yeah, sure thing.
Yeah. So what's with the clothes?
They're hardcore.
That's it?
They're just clothes.
I thought there would be more to it.
Nah, it's just a vest of suspenders made to resemble a human rib cage. Plus some lady clothes to piss off the sex system. Now tell me about that hardcore necktie. It's fucking primal.
It's my friend and accomplice. It makes me party harder.
I can see that. And you've partied very hard for a very long time, haven't you? It looks like you're trying to hang yourself with it. So large, too. So many different patterns. It's crazy, man. I like it.
You suddenly realize the patience and respect the Speed Freak has shown you is partly because of your style. It's probably not like that with everyone.
Respect is a man!
Thanks, Egghead.
Dead body, spirit entered.
What style is this church built in?
A cop who's into building critique. Okay then, this is folk DeLoreanism. Lawmonger, It's a subset of early DeLorean architecture.
I'm not just a cop, I'm an art cop.
Art of core.
Okay, and what is this DeLorean architecture like?
Total. Everything between an ancient concrete cathedral and a glass cube is DeLoreanism. This is just an homespun version of it. Folksy stuff. Early mass production. They made thousands like this. Does that help you out?
When he said glass cube, I thought of an exhibit that is in the Corning Museum of Glass. It's just like, it's like a mirror cube, like a recursive mirror cube. Like you look at it and depending on what angle you look at it, it's like, it's different colors and then you can see into it forever. I love that place. I need to go back there soon. What would a DeLorean building look like?
Like that woman there. Vertical, thin, white, a false image of grandeur. The source of the system is up there. You're at the bottom. They really dug that power vertical.
Why does Noid say so much stuff that, like, makes sense to my worldview? It's very strange. Like, I don't expect this of him. Just like, boy, oh boy, do they like to remind themselves and you how high above you they are.
Like to show off large and intricate structures. Arches, spires. Put you down with them. They were really into painting everything white too. Virginal shit, you know. Marriage shit. Virtue and tyranny.
What did Chrome say? He quoted somebody in Iconoclasts. This isn't really relevant to anything, it was just a quote I liked. It was something like, look up at me and you see a god. Look down at me and you see a peasant. Look directly at me and you see yourself. Something like that. We're just getting so philosophical tonight, it's just pouring out of me with no rhyme or reason at this point. This church isn't painted white as far as I can tell.
Stands to reason it used to be white on the outside before the sea wind took all the paint off.
Year after year, flake after flake, whitewashed clean and then covered in green moss. Slowly peeled by the wind, your skin crawls from the sensation as you look around. So you say that as a carpenter yourself?
I don't say much anything as a carpenter anymore. They tried to make me into a reckoner and a leveler. Made me a bit manic, you know.
No, we haven't done that.
I regret the time I dedicated to that profession and that worker collective. I say things more as a member of the hardcore side dance community these days.
So you're not gonna ask me how I knew?
Why? You're a cop. I carry carpentry tools.
Fair enough. Let's talk about something else, Noid.
Sure.
I was thinking maybe once I had internalized the hardcore thought that that would be the missing key of the Noid conversation, but seemingly not.
The Crabman's been lurking in casement like this is some old world shit. I don't know. And it's not something they properly understood either, what it does. But it's what this sonar person is looking for and trying to measure. It'll be fruitless though. Maybe you can figure things out, Cop Man. I think we got on a good level here. It took us setting it short for paranoid.
Don't give it as being suspicious.
A reasonable question. Say I get hurt. I want to make sure it never happens again. So I analyze the situation. Exercise caution.
Noid, get out of my head, man. What are you suspicious of?
It'd be easier to list stuff I'm not suspicious of.
Yeah.
Good call. Not exposing yourself to stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's all I can do with Noid. I wouldn't be at all surprised if I'm allowed to retry this check, though. If not, I'm close to a level up. Yeah, no, not yet. And it doesn't seem to have added a modifier. That's smelly.
Goodbye, officer.
That might be all we can do on today's time allotment. We're almost at 11 here. I may at least bung over to the pawn shop and see if I can pick up a good tape to bring to these guys. Maybe that would help the dance check. That probably would help the dance check, actually. Oh, there's my level up. Maybe one more time. What was it? Composure. Oh, remember when I look at my shoes. Yeah, composure. Near Seleng. I was thinking I would find it at the pawn shop, but it did say something about that intersection over there. Dude, something about that particular pattern of howling wind reminded me of, like, Populous on the Super NES for some reason. Memo to self, next time I get near one of the other traps, check it anyway. I don't think I stand to gain anything more from that. I don't think we're gonna catch the Phasmid. My brain was apparently on autopilot and said come in here anyway.
Hello again. How can I help you?
No. It's over here anyway. Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb. Oh yeah? Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man striding towards you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words, Heimdall burning. How much is this shirt?
2 real.
That's dirt cheap.
Cool, I'll think about it.
You should. Welcome to Heimdall, officer.
Yes, the best. By God. I delayed way too long in getting this obviously perfect shirt. On it goes. So it's definitely not over there. Right, the audio stuff was up here. But I've already done everything I can do with that. Give me the street light. Alright, so definitely not here then. Yet another place where I swear I could feel the atmosphere. I've been in a place like that, you know what I mean? What I'm trying to say is, what a good game. You're slang, you said. Wait a minute. Whoop, 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 whoop. Hello. Yeah, there was something about a tree, wasn't there? The hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Ghislain. Bronze-colored ribbons of magnetic tape are caught in its branches, fluttering in the breeze. Oh. Just like promised, you stood here for what seems like eons, guzzling the sticky fumes of lorries and carriages. Good Hawthorne. Patting the tree reveals a small sticker which has almost been worn to oblivion. It reads RCM Emergencies Desk Number 8102. Underneath the slogan, Mankind Be Vigilant. You tree-hugging pansy. Shut up, physical instrument. It's a nice tree. Tree has feelings, maybe. Probably not. It's just wood. It's fine. Interfacing. That is a challenging interfacing check. Time to put on my yellow hobo gloves. I doubt I have much else. Maybe I don't need to be wearing my half-light fallen gloves anyway. Yeah, I'm terrible at motorics. What do you know? With slow and deliberate motions, pulling, bending, and unraveling, you managed to extricate the magnetic... I got a couple of good rolls tonight. Managed to extricate the magnetic tape from the branches. It curls up into a mess inside your pocket. If only you could find a way to re-spool it so you could hear what's on the tape. Maybe Roy from the pawn shop can help you with this?
What's the tape for?
It's for Egghead. Promised to make his Van X gem hit a bit harder. Maybe this tape can help.
How? It's broken and unspooled. Do you think your new buddy knows how to fix it?
I'm not sure, but I'll find out. Maybe Egghead can point me in the right direction.
You could also get it fixed at the pawn shop across the street. We shouldn't waste our time.
Kim, we've done nothing all evening but waste time. I don't want to face too many more actual dangers without my gun on my person. We're actually going on day 5 here. It's unnerving. I agree, it's not a waste of time. I think it's totally hardcore. Like it's running a little late, but I don't want to stop now. We've come so far.
Hello again. How can I help you?
Hey, do you know how to fix this tape, maybe?
You mean re-spool?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I do, but...
Great, could you do, please? It's important. I need to be able to play this tape for someone.
But I'm not some Mr. Fix-It. I'm a pawnbroker. If you want to pawn the tape, sure. Although it looks pretty... worthless.
Just explain why you need this so much. He's bound to understand. Worthless? It's not worthless, Roy. This could be the next big thing for the local dance music scene.
Huh? What do you mean?
You know the old church down on the coast?
Yes. What about it?
I helped some young ravers turn this place into a nightclub, and they play these weird beats there, which they call anodic music.
Is it any good? The music, I mean.
That's the thing. You won't believe how unbelievably thin the beat is. There's nothing to it, no bass. It just goes zoop, 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 zoop. This tape could make it real hardcore.
Man, you're really invested in this.
He looks at the bundle of tape in front of him, shimmers onto the shop's dazzling light show.
Okay, I'll help you out. It's going to take a moment, though, so just sit back and relax.
You take some time to look around the store. The play of visuals all around the pawn shop is mesmerizing. Suddenly, Roy returns back to you with a reel of tape in his hand and coughs. You know, these visuals would look super cool in the church. Those visuals you got here would look great in the church.
Yeah, I bet they would. All those lights in a massive church hall.
He stares at the intricate interplay of light and shadow all around him, suddenly moved by the idea.
A sanctuary filled with hand-picked positive photons. There would be no room for sadness in such a place. It's a brilliant vision.
There's a but, isn't there? But there's always a but. But...
I rather like it here, too. So yeah, I'm not giving you my projector. This tape is all I can do for you and your friend's nightclub project.
He looks like he really means it. Well, thanks for the help.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'll do what I can for true passion projects. Just try not to use this tape for negative photon emissions.
There we go, that's what we need.
Responsibility. Okay.
And it's gonna need some cool old sci-fi movie quote, like, the system is down. It's too late, I'm not gonna do the other noise. Otherwise, I would, but... Okay, one more pass back over to the church before we wrap up. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't run late, but like we've invested so much in this now. We've all been through this journey. There's another step we can take. We gotta. We don't want to wait a week for this to resolve. It's my stream, damn it. I'll run late if I wanna. No. Egghead was right all along. It really could be harder core. Yeah, fast travel's lame. Winter is slow to let go of Revachol, flecks some more wet snow from above. Snow falls lazily, making the beach sand paler still, mixing with the rust-colored sewage runoff. It's been a cold year. All things waiting for spring will have to wait a bit longer. What am I doing? Looking up at the sky, melted snow dripping from your hat. What do I see? The sky is full of great battleships. White clouds collide with one another, and the world is drenched with their debris. How does it feel? The melting snow seeps through your thin clothes. Grandmothers don't let their grandchildren outdress so lightly in this weather. At least your hair is protected from getting wet and sticking together by my frog visor. Sure. You look around. More widening coastline lined with abandoned buildings, crumbling piers, salt water lapping at their dark piles, gray and red, forgotten city blocks. What remains of the pre-revolutionary effort to gentrify the coast. The waters turn black. Coal City in the shadow of St. Martin. A boomtown back when coal extracted from the countless shafts near the city was needed to power Revachol. No more. The coal was supplanted by petroleum from the ocean floor and hydropower from the Esperance. Everything crumbled. These days only the weakest remain in Coal City. Their hopes of getting rich linger in the defunct shafts under their feet. Below the old mines, Little Schwer Municipal, Revachol's underground cemetery. Les petits rats brave the underground passageways, trying to get to Le Royaume. Children under 14, they go underground looking for artifacts to sell to foreign museums, and for fabled relics. Their parents let them. They go deeper. It's a rubies, Melchiorite. Lapis lazuli plundered from Safre and Zeor during the time of the suzerain. The to wind your shafts go down, riches and kings, mausoleum, pure magenta cocaine. How can it be pure? Can we stop? Few petite rats, petite, whatever. Return from the shafts, and fewer find what they're looking for. A small child steps out of a black tunnel with silver trinkets in her pockets. All around her, white snow in the extinguished coke furnaces and on the weather-worn shacks where fathers beat their sons after drinking. Snow melts on your fingers, turning to water. What's below me? Layer upon layer of sand poisoned with industrial runoff, the storm drainage, hidden bunkers, rats scuttle. Someone stuffed a big old polar anorak into a concrete pipe under the boardwalk. An ossuary is an urn or other container for ashes, mostly. Noted. I feel like that's one of a few definitions, because in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, there's like an early minor branch called an ossuary, and it's just like an underground tomb, basically. Something like that. Something pertaining to burial. Let's go with that. Where is Ruby? Near. Snow falls into dark water. She prays, though she doesn't believe. There's a hum in the air. That's all.
We should keep moving. Who knows when the snow will let up.
There was more there, but it's all just more poetic. And we're busy. Artpocalypse. Collapse, maybe. Charnel House is a vault or building where human skeletal remains are stored. They are often built near churches for depositing bones that are unearthed while digging graves. Graves, the term can also be used more generally as a description of a place filled with death and destruction. Vocabulary stream. Learn words on Zeor TV. Words such as that was a crazy sound we heard before.
Yeah! It was awesome and scary. Very hardcore. Too hardcore, in fact. I couldn't control it at all.
What happened?
It sucks up all the air in the mix until it's the only thing left. Starts compressing itself and everything around it. Completely fills up the headspace. Extreme!
Yeah, I'm gathering what happened was that, like, we heard a low sound that got amplified and then was also, like it was actually a positive feedback loop. Played on maximum volume, just resonating the whole church. Inside your chest, the heart beats still with the after effects of the sound. Imagine if you could harness that power, making it pulse. Is there anything we can do about it?
Maybe someone can do something with this. I imagine this is the sounds that the future could make.
Sounds like the future could be even more hardcore than I ever imagined.
Yeah!
I found this reel of tape. Maybe you can use it to hard up X-Jam.
Yeah! Remix time! Tape goes here, into deck B.
A hand on his ear, he listens to the audio through his headphones and shouts,
Wow! Did you get this from Arno himself?
And great excitement is bubbling up to the surface with him. This is big. Actually, I found it tangled up in a hawthorn tree.
Listen, I'm just going to show it to you. Ready?
Ready. Oh, wow. It's both a small change and a big change.
The signs match perfectly. Now, if only we had the beat for the full assault, it would be unbelievably hyper.
What is this? It's good. How did you guys do that?
You're right, it's uncanny how well it all goes together. Something else must be going on here.
Yes, but what if Van Eyck based his remix on some forgotten local melody, like a folk song, and you just found the original piece that inspired him to create this jam? That would explain why it fits so well.
Nah, to me it sounds like classic Van Eyck. I don't think he needs any inspiration from folk songs. Maybe he lives in Martinez and just threw away part of his song because he thought it wasn't good enough.
I think it's just happenstance. Chaos in action. Contingencies of our limited existence. That and Egghead's fantastic talent.
No, this is definitely part of the same song. Something cut from it. It fits too well. Something mysterious is going on here. It sounds right. Van Eyck must live around here. It's definitely his creation.
Be how it may, if it fits, it fits. Bring up the volume.
What about the bass? Do you have any ideas for that?
Yeah, I remember. You said it needs more bass.
I think you might know the answer. What if we used that crazy sound assault from Suna's experiment, but contained, tamed it, made it pulse?
But how?
What about that compressor Andre was setting up to achieve some sort of parallel processing?
Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't figure it out. I think the jam's already pretty ultra.
But it could be hyper.
Interfacing, no! Goodbye, Egghead. Shit.
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
Yeah, there it is a positive modifier, and it's still nothing. By God, I have no yellow skills at all. My motorics are garbage. I think even the real-life me has better motorics than that. Alright, hang on. I have another point. Go for it. Well, you know what? It'll give me 2 checks. What? Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched. So there's a lack of magnesium in me? Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your bloodstream. So I need to maggot sideways? Maggot sideways? What are you talking about? You need to maggot up. Probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already. The only prescription is insane amounts of magnesium. One stroke? Don't be so modest. He's having one right now. You're saying I need to become a magnesium-based life form? Yes. If you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to transcend the carbon barrier. Go to the apothecary and buy insane amounts of magnesium. It will reverse the damage to your circulatory system. Okay. Alright, so save. What the fuck? Hey, look at this. Is such a tiny percentage of all the shit that's possible to unlock in this game. I would have to start picking out things to get rid of. Which I'm not feeling mentally up to trying right now. Alright. Quick save.
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
Oh, it's up to 8% now. Did I spend that skill point accidentally?
Goodbye.
I must have. Yeah, I think I applied it. That's fine. Did I quick save? I'm gonna quick save.
Oh, hey man, it's good to see you.
Can I...
Goodbye.
What's quick load? Doesn't seem to be a quick load, that's fine. Again, Cans is really insistent that we save scum the hell out of this one. It's his favorite part of the whole game, so let's do it.
Good to see you. Goodbye.
Really is a good rhythm, though.
It's good to see you.
Ooh.
It's to all because I want to show my hair, not 20. Yes, it is, man. Goodbye, officer.
Might be worth waiting to get the boat. Alright, also I'm gonna need authority. Put my smelly toilet ledger away before this. I should have an easier time with the authority, considering I'm a purple build, with no motorics. Maybe don't wear my Hjelmdahl t-shirt either. I don't have much that boosts authority. But I'm definitely wearing something else that penalizes it. Really? Nothing else? Yeah, nope. I'm noticing that I'm extremely hungry. I need to wrap this up. I think I remember where the police cap is. I don't have it yet. I might have to save this for next time. I'm gonna give it one more shot. You know what? I'll give it a couple more shots.
Goodbye.
But there are more ways to... There are, I guess, more modifiers on this check. I mean, I have an even worse chance to improve the music thanks to my crappy interfacing. Morty.
Goodbye.
I don't have to exit that conversation first, right? That'll save nearly a second each time.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah. I'll give it 3 more tries. Otherwise, we'll have to come back to it next time.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
That wanted to. I don't need an autosave, go away. It's the wrong answer, I think it was 1.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
That's 2. 1 more. In the worst case, I'll still be able to level up composure 1 more time, I'm pretty sure. So it's not like I'll be locked out of it forever.
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, nope, I don't think it's happening tonight.
Goodbye.
I'm still gonna roll back and pretend that check didn't happen. But, yeah, I think I've done all I can do for tonight. I think I'm a little cooked. Very hungry. We've gotten an awful lot of disco has gone into our heads tonight. in all sorts of good ways. Still don't have our gun, but we'll get the gun back early next stream. Maybe. Oh, claving. God, what a game, huh? There's nothing else quite like Disco Elysium. I mean, I don't even mean there's no other video game quite like Disco Elysium. I mean, there's nothing ever made is quite like Disco Elysium. So, thanks for coming down this weird disco journey with me. Always appreciate it. Yep, Hollowbug tomorrow. Always look forward to more of that. So that's all I got for you. Thanks again. Gonna lose some sleep over all the weird disco shit the cut said tonight. Have a good one.